Canada, apparently they're throwing tariffs on manatee meat and bovine semen, which means The View is very unhappy.
Oh.
Ooh. It's not even that. And The View, you don't need to find Trumpers. You need to fire your race baiters.
Yeah.
You need to fire the two races. You've had people. You had a McCain on there. You've had people on there before, and you ran them off. So the racist ones who want to stick to this, Whoopi and Sonny, and the, was it Bette Midler? What's her name? Yeah, broke-ass Bette Midler. Fire them and bring people in. Maybe you could get McCain to come back. She was a Republican, but every show and every break, she was nearly in tears because she was being...
Canada, apparently they're throwing tariffs on manatee meat and bovine semen, which means The View is very unhappy. Oh, it's not even that. And The View, you don't need to find Trumpers. You need to fire your race baiters. You need to fire the two races. You've had people. You had a McCain on there. You've had people on there before and you ran them off. So the racist ones who want to stick to this Whoopi and Sonny and the was-it-Bette Midler. What's her name? Broke-ass Bette Midler, fire them and bring people in. Maybe you could get McCain to come back. She was a Republican, but every show and every break she was nearly in tears because she was being attacked. What do you get when Whoopi Goldberg opens her mouth thinking she's about to drop wisdom only to get steamrolled by Gutfeld's razor-sharp sarcasm with Tyrus in the background hyping it all like it's WWE? You get mayhem. The kind of beautiful unfiltered chaos that has social media foaming at the mouth. 1 second she's delivering a lecture like she's headlining a TED Talk. The next she's looking like she needs a one-way ticket to somewhere without Wi-Fi or cable. And no, this isn't just another awkward TV moment. It's a full-blown comedic demolition derby. You can almost hear the sound of her credibility skidding off the road while Gutfeld hits her with punchlines like verbal grenades. Every smug glance she throws gets bounced right back at her like a boomerang made of memes. And Tyrus, he's loving it. Man sitting there like a proud pit watching his brisket roast. Except this time the roast is Whoopi. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Well, not if you're Whoopi Goldberg, aka Karen Johnson. Yeah, who knew Whoopi was a Karen? I thought that was only for white people like Toyota Priuses and skiing. Roll it, Francis. Good morning and welcome to the review. You all saw the news. Whoopi will be back here in 2 weeks. Okay. Oh. It's so cute when one of their side gets punished. They sulk like they ran out of raw cookie dough in the green room. Let's not forget this is Whoopi Goldberg we're talking about. The woman who crowned herself the spiritual compass of daytime TV. But when she walks into these showdowns unprepared, trying to flex intellect while ignoring facts, it doesn't end with applause. It ends with her arguments in pieces and her pride stuck in reruns. Buckle up, because this wasn't just a meltdown. It was a masterclass in public self-sabotage. Only on The View can casual political rambling turn into something that feels more like an off-Broadway meltdown. An interpretive dance of confusion, ego, and straight-up galaxy brain contradictions. It ain't political commentary anymore. It's performance art for the proudly misinformed. And this time, Whoopi Goldberg didn't just fumble the script. She got absolutely obliterated by two people who weren't even on the damn set. Yeah, you heard that right. Gutfeld and Tyrus delivered a verbal smackdown remotely. They didn't step foot on that glorified gossip couch. But they still handed Whoopi a brutal reality check. No studio lighting, no panel support, no dramatic cuts to commercial, just cold, clean takedowns that left her looking like she wandered into a debate with no Jeep. Let's rewind for a second. Imagine your usual episode of The View where logic takes a backseat and facts barely get through security, accountability, left the building years ago, and outrage. It's not just the vibe, it's the business model. There she is, Whoopi, perched high like some kind of midday monarch, draped in self-righteous energy, firing off dramatic one-liners like she's delivering closing arguments in a courtroom no one asked for. Yeah, ABC suspended Whoopi for 2 weeks because she said the Holocaust had nothing to do with race. She said this on a show called The View, which makes everything about race except now. The Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race. No. But it's not about race. It's not about race because it's about man's inhumanity to man. Yeah, that's heroically stupid even for The View. But what really set this spiral in motion? She acted like someone asked her to host a fundraiser for common sense and took it as a personal insult. The intensity, the indignation, the unnecessary dramatics. It was like watching someone try to win a chess match while playing Candyland. And the worst part, the audience didn't even flinch because deep down they've seen this show before, and it's getting old fast. She went full diva mode again, launching into yet another one of her over-the-top drama-soaked tirades. This time, it was about how democracy is somehow under attack every time someone dares to disagree with her emotionally charged monologues. According to Whoopi, any challenge to her views isn't debate, it's treason. Basically just another Tuesday in Whoopi's wild world where feelings are facts and every opinion she dislikes is a threat to the Republic. But then boom, reality logged on. Far away from the cozy applause of The View's ever-obedient clapping squad. Oops, we mean audience. The internet stepped in. And leading the charge, none other than Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus armed to the teeth with late-night truth bombs. No fake cheers, no emotional overacting, just raw sarcasm, brutal clarity, and Gutfeld's signature deadpan that hits harder than a double shot of espresso straight to Whoopi's belief system. Greg didn't even have to say her name. That's the power of real commentary. You don't call out clowns by name when everyone already hears the circus music. He simply dragged the whole genre of celeb pundits who've been wrong so many times. It's a miracle they're still allowed microphones. These are the folks who yell, "Educate yourself," right after butchering the name of a country they couldn't point to on a map if their lives depended on it. So the problem is that you have to go after the racist people. And if the CEO goes, you know what? I'm not going to allow a woman on my show or man that will go after white America and talk about them like dogs. That doesn't represent our ideals or values for anyone. And get rid of those people. And this will clear up real quick. So, do you have to actually look in the mirror and clean up your own backyard and get the racist people out? Because that's who you allowed in. You allowed black racist on TV who could just go all day and say anything about white people. And I guess lo and behold, they forgot that there's a lot of people at home, white people at home during the day that are not watching your show anymore. So, just clean it up. Yeah, Emily. Then came Tyrus. Towering like a debouncer at a high IQ mixer. He dropped a metaphor so savage it could have doubled as a finishing move. It wasn't just a joke. It was a body slam of logic that left no doubt. The Emperor's got no facts, just flash. And this time, even her most loyal fans couldn't defend the nonsense. What just happened to Whoopi's credibility? Let's put it this way. It got snapped like a twig in a windstorm. If Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus were holding the mic, Whoopi's public image took the kind of hit that leaves a mark for years. And the wildest part, this takedown didn't even happen on The View. Yet somehow, Whoopi reacted like someone had knocked on her front door and personally handed her a fact-checked insult wrapped in gift paper. She looked into that camera like she was about to give a historic speech. Chin up, eyes blazing, lips curled into that familiar Hollywood outrage. It was the kind of dramatic stare you expect before someone says, "How dare you?" She huffed. She puffed. She summoned every ounce of righteous fury that daytime TV could squeeze out of her. You'd think someone had challenged her to a spelling bee for the word accountability. Let's be real, this wasn't just a stumble. It was a full-on explosion of pride and frustration. Whoopi, once seen as a bold voice for the underdog, now comes off like a frustrated professor lecturing a class that stopped listening years ago. And when her arguments get called out, she doesn't debate. She deflects. She doesn't respond with logic. She claps slowly, passive-aggressively, as if she's giving herself a standing ovation for not walking off the set. And when even the clapping doesn't do the trick, she leans back, sighs dramatically, and plays her favorite card, performative exhaustion. That signature, I'm too wise for this look. When in reality, she's just run out of points. This isn't courage, it's theater. Yesterday on The View, otherwise known as Hell's DMV, Whoopi Goldberg asked, how much different are the values of the Trump administration from the Taliban? We have a leader who has repeatedly demeaned women, wants to defund organizations that benefit women, calling on the media to shut up, specifically wants to give preferential treatment based on religion. Are these values really much different than the Taliban's? Wow. Talk about groundbreaking to actually hear a celebrity say something mean about the Taliban. How dare they compare them to Trump? The Taliban should sue. Guess they ran out of Hitler analogies. So, as they bash the president, I'm reminded how entertainers rarely express any rage over any strand of misogynist Islamism. If they did, we might take their rage toward Trump seriously. And after a while, even the loyal viewers can spot the difference between real conviction and a staged tantrum. It's not about disagreeing anymore. It's about refusing to be challenged. And that's when the show stops being entertainment and starts feeling like a rerun. A yes, the sigh. That long exaggerated exhale that Whoopi Goldberg pulls out like it's some ancient dramatic ritual passed down from generations of overpaid talk show hosts. You know the one, the slow release of breath, the eyes half closed, the body language of someone pretending.